Welcome in. It's a baseball podcast. I'm Charles.
I'm PJ.
And I'm Jacob.
And we're ready for another fun-filled episode full of baseball talk and baseball discussions, and it's fun, right? This is a historic day for our show. We're in double digits, guys. This is episode number 10.
Woohoo.
Number 10's in baseball history. Chipper Jones, Ron Santos, Lefty Grove. Current
Shouts out
players.
Lefty Grove.
Some current players. Brian Reynolds. We talked about him
Oh,
a few
yeah.
episodes ago.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Story, I think, wears number 10. Walker Buehler.
What team
Lot
is
of
Walker
number
Buehler
10s.
on?
Walker Buehler's on the Padres.
Does Walker Buehler know that?
You know, I don't know what Walker Buehler knows. He may be walking too many hitters to know. I don't know what's happening with him. But, you know, still, pretty cool. Number 10. A lot of good stuff happening. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I'm good,
I'm
Charles.
chilling.
Another good week of baseball.
Yes.
Another good week of things happening in the sport. I thought we maybe would start with something we asked all episode long. All episode long. For those who listened to our last episode, we asked people to email us.
Yep.
And let's just get this off the table.
What is the email, by the way? I don't
The
know.
email
just in
Email
case
is
you don't.
abaseballpodcast@gmail.com.
And that's the first time Jacob has ever said it. So if you
Right.
if you missed it, you know, there you go.
That's it.
So, in celebration of getting the email, because we mentioned it a lot, right? Which is good. We need to tell people where
Right.
to get in touch with
And
us.
and it worked.
And
It
we
did.
need to tell people that we're actually reading these emails.
Yeah.
We do see them. We're going to even read it right now.
Right. And, you know, you can contact us there, social media, wherever you want to contact us. We will read what you write on to us. So I figure we would tie this in to something we're going to do today. So, you know, he wants to talk about a stat, some kind of stat category, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to read his email, and we'll just talk about it. Sound good? Derek writes, I was wondering why whip is so important in today's game. Is it just for stats nerds, or does it really serve a purpose? Example, something to add in for the Rolaids Reliever of the Year award. I love that mention, by the way. So what do we think? What do you think about whip?
I don't know anything about whip. What is whip, PJ?
WHIP is
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba,
WHIP.
Around the basics.
WHIP. WHIP, walks, hits, innings pitched is what most people say, but according to Baseball Reference, it's walks plus hits per inning pitched, but nobody says plus.
Right.
Right. So basically, you know, a lot of people look at ERA, but ERA can be a little flawed because there's so many things that go into ERA. If you have a bad defense, the guy doesn't get to a ball. That's not going to go into your ERA. The run, the double you give up is all the, you know, is going to go into that. So WHIP tries to kind of give what kind of, how often you're giving up base runners and tries to quantify that in a way where it's just one simple number without having to look at doubles allowed, hits allowed, walks allowed. So the glossary says it's a stat used to measure how many base runners a pitcher allows per inning through walks and hits. It is a metric used for evaluating pitcher performance without accounting for strikeouts or runs. Hit batters, errors, and runners who reach on a fielder's choice are not included either. So it's purely
Okay.
just walks and hits.
All
So
right.
And what it does is it'll, here, I'll tell you the formula. Walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. And basically what you want is your whip to be 1,
Okay.
because that means you're giving up nothing every inning pitched. Now, obviously, you can be lower than that, but 1 is like, you know, the
One.
number.
You pitched an inning.
Yep, and you didn't give up anything.
You gave up nothing.
Yeah,
1.
and you could obviously do even better.
1 would be perfect.
1 would be very good. Well,
How can you do better?
I've seen better whip before, but I'm
Better
trying
than 1.
Well, like this season, for example, the top pitcher right now, the lowest whip. And this is what you want, a low number. You don't want a high number.
And that's
I
what
mean,
decides the top pitcher.
What's the question?
That's what decides the top pitcher?
Yeah,
Well, it's like one of the numbers you'd use to determine.
One of them.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of stats that come into play here. You can determine things in all different ways, but just for discussion purposes, as of right now, Cam Schlittler of the Yankees
Shouts out Cam Schlittler.
is leading MLB in WHIP.
What's his whip?
His whip, as of this, is 0.81.
So you
Wow.
can't. But
That's a really low whip, Cam. If you
Uh,
want to come on the show, reach out to us at a baseball podcast
Yeah.
at
And that's a
gmail.com.
starting pitcher. Of course, they're going to do relief pitchers. They're going to have some in that. There's Rico Garcia has a .42 whip. That's relievers. But, you're counting starting pitchers, whip. It's going to be, they pitch differently. They're different capacities, different things happening.
and you're facing more batters.
Right.
So there's more chances for runners to reach base. The thing about whip is, whip is like kind of tries to be a catch-all, but as we've gone along in baseball, there's been more of like, well, if you have a good defense, your pitching stats are probably going to be better. So they tried to find a way to make it, and if you play in Colorado or if you play in Comerica Park, which is Detroit's ballpark, which is a big ballpark, it's going to be different. You're going to have you're going to give up more runs or less because the ball's not leaving the park. So they've tried to come up with stats that kind of make it an even playing field. Whip is really not one of those because it's hits and outs. So like if you have a really bad outfield and they never get to anything, you're going to be affected more than a team like the Braves who have a good outfield and they might save more hits. So whip is good and it is helpful, but it's not that even playing field statistic like some other numbers are. But it's still very, like, you can look at a pitcher's whip and go, okay, this guy's got a 2 whip. He's struggling, But
Absolutely.
But, Cam Schiller with a, what did you say, 0.83?
0.82.
0.82. You can just take a quick glance at that and go, okay, this guy is having success. He's not getting many base runners. And that's really what you're looking at when you look at whip is how many base runners is this guy allowing? Because, you want it to be 1. You're not allowing anything. And then if, but the lower the better, obviously. But
how do you get lower?
So I'm looking at this whip calculator right here. So let's just say, for example, you walk 20 guys, you have 20 hits, and you pitched 120 innings.
Okay.
Your whip would be .333. So if I put it at, let's say, 60 for each. If you 60 walks, 60 hits, 120 innings pitched.
Yeah.
Your whip is 1 because you allowed 120 base runners in 120 innings.
Okay.
So 1 is still good.
Right. And
But
then
if
you're
you-
just going lower.
Yeah,
Okay,
if you
good.
allow
I
less
get it.
base runners, the more base runners is going to be.
So
So
for 100 innings pitched, he allowed 82 runners. Essentially,
something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
What it boils down to is there's a lot of math in baseball.
Yes.
A lot of math. And figuring out the numbers is it's just like an equation, like you would do in school.
I mean, that one just sounded like percentages to me.
Right.
Honestly.
Right.
You want it to be 100%. If you go over 100%, that's really bad.
Yeah, I guess you.
I mean, that's a good. I
know
mean,
that
Maybe look at
percentages
it the
don't
other
actually
way.
work that
but
way,
Yeah.
but-
Here's what Baseball Reference says is whip is used to strip out other variables and focus on 2 important responsibilities for a pitcher. Pitcher's ability to avoid walks and avoid giving up hits. A whip below 1 is considered elite, while anything above 1.15 tends to fall into average. So there's your number there. 1 is
Okay.
what you're shooting for. You're giving up 1 base runner in an inning.
1.15 is just an average.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but
But
if you're starting to get above that,
I
then
feel like
that's
that means that there's a good number that probably just float between that, right?
1.08
That's
or
gotta be
1.1.
Weird zone to be in.
Better than being above it.
Better than being, above it. But
I feel inspired, guys.
yeah,
The inspiration has hit me. I don't know if you guys have the same inspiration, but I feel like we just need to do a couple other stats. Let's just get some other definitions, some other stuff out there. Do we
Absolutely.
have any that we want to know about?
Well, we had a question to me about what is OPS?
What is OPS?
OPS is on base plus slugging, which combines the slugging stat and the on base percentage stat. Because those are 2 different numbers. On base tells you what percent of the time you're getting on base, and slugging tells you the quality of your balls in play, your doubles, your homers, your triples.
Right.
'Cause,
Right.
Let me go ahead, Charles. If you had
Well,
some.
I mean, look, OPS, you want your hitters to hit, get on base as much as possible here.
Yeah.
It's still math. But, if you take right now players, who has the highest OPS? Well, this guy also has a lot of home runs.
Aaron Judge.
Okay.
Ben Rice.
Ben Rice. Okay.
Ben
He
Rice
has the
is what I was
highest
immediately
right
thinking
now
of.
at the moment of this recording, 1.079 OPS.
I mean, that's the name I've heard associated with OPS for the last 2 weeks.
And you're going to see another guy you've been hearing about a lot, Mickey Moniak,
Wow.
1.032.
You know, Charles is a real maniac.
He is.
A maniac for Moniac.
I think a good way to discuss OPS is to break each one down and then so people understand. So I'll start with on-base percentage. On-base percentage is different than batting average because batting average says how often you get a hit. And on-base percentage includes that as well as walks, hit by pitch, errors, fielder's choice. Any way you get on base is included in OBP, which is
Word.
on-base percentage.
Okay.
So it's basically like batting average. Like that's why I can't really look at batting average. If you're going to look at one of those numbers, you should probably look at OBP because that tells you this guy's getting on base at this rate.
Yeah.
And if you ever see
That's
somebody,
a money ball move right there.
yep, and OPS is even more. But if you ever see a guy with a batting average higher than his on-base percentage, that's a feat because your on-base should always be higher than your batting average.
Makes sense.
And so slugging percentage puts a number to those hits that you get. So singles is I don't want to say the wrong thing
Oh,
here.
it's all good. This is a lot of confusing stuff right
Yes.
here. We might have to do a pickle in a second
Well,
to
we
take a
got
break
math
from this.
involved.
This is a lot to take in for me. I'm sure it is for other listeners out there because
And I don't want to get the stats mixed up, so I'm trying to make sure I get the right thing.
Good.
so far, hold up. Let's recap what we've gone over so far. We've covered WHIP.
Right.
Are we on OPS or
We're breaking down on base and slugging to get to OPS because those are the two
on-base
stats.
and slugging to get to OPS?
Yeah,
It's
That
like
is
wearing
a
the glove on both
compound
hands.
stat right
it
there.
is.
You got to wear a glove on both hands
Yeah,
sometimes.
this is a
Yeah.
compound stat
Well,
right
I mean
here,
that's what it
guys.
is adding the two stats together.
Yeah,
So I feel
this
like
is
not telling would be a little confusing.
all right.
So slugging percentage, a single is 100, I believe.
Yeah.
A double is
Okay.
200, triple is 300, and home run is 400. So it's
Okay.
just as many bases. And so it's basically trying to put a number, like if you just hit singles, your slugging percentage is not going to be that high. And if you hit a lot of homers or doubles or triples, which people don't, then your number is going to be exponentially higher. So it just
Right.
tries to say, okay, batting average tells you how often this guy gets a hit. This tells you how often he's hitting the ball for extra bases. It
Okay.
just tries to put a number on that. So that way it's like, oh, does this guy hit for power? Without looking at home runs or doubles, it just tells you, okay, his slugging percentage is whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to give I thought it would tell me like a good slugging percentage. Okay, the best hitters will have at least a 500 slugging, and a good slugging is about 400. League average is, or good is above 400. League average is about 400.
And look, there are going to be generations of people who follow certain stats. Maybe. It's a lot of different things you can look at. When it comes to OPS for me, I'd rather look at the team OPS. As a team, what are you doing? Because you could have one superstar player getting really good OPS. It doesn't mean you're winning a lot of games.
Right.
So, do you want to know the top OPS leaders when it comes to teams right now?
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Lay it on us.
The Braves are.
Nice.
.787 team OPS.
I just will say, Charles, to be a contrarian here, I feel like that you could be hiding some guys with team OPS. Because if Matt Olson and, Austin Riley and Ronald Acuna Jr. all have huge OPSs, and you got Nick Allen with his 209 OPS. That's not what it was. It was something double that.
Yeah.
Not very good. But the team OPS is good. You're not going to know that, the shortstop is a problem. So that's what I would say is the only thing there that I feel like you could miss out on,
And honestly, I feel really the only people who are paying attention to OPS are fantasy people like Charles who are building a fantasy team or actual recruiters and scouts,
OPS is.
I mean, you play the show, like I get it.
I feel like most people that are following baseball want to know how a player is doing, OPS is probably the number they look at, to be honest. So
Really?
yeah,
I feel like that's surprising because it's such a complex stat to understand.
It's really, I don't want to say it's really not because I just tried to explain it and it is kind of complex. I'll say this: some broadcasts use such different stats. Some and then some stadiums will show you a guy's weighted on base average, or show you a guy's WRC plus, which are other stats I'll get into some other day because those are way more convoluted. And then some places will show you only the batting average. And some broadcasts will only be like, oh, this guy's hitting 290 because you got John Crook up there who's an older guy, and that's what he cares about. So that's what they're going to talk about. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but sometimes you might just, some broadcasts are only going to say, hey, this guy's hitting well. And it's like, well, this broadcast will say this guy's OPS, So it just depends where you're getting, where, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it just depends.
Depends on, honestly, it just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the standings don't lie. You know who the other teams in the top OPS? New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yep.
The only one that's kind of surprising is Houston Astros because they haven't really been that great this season.
Which means their pitching's probably letting them down.
Right, which we've talked about in an earlier episode when we were talking to our listener, John. We were talking about the pitching staff dragging them down. And that's exactly what's happening with them. So, look, we'll try to help you guys out with stats.
It happens.
It's a complex discussion. And for more information, we'll just try to get as much as we can on the show, and then we'll just post below. How about that?
Try not to be super confusing.
We want to be boring. We want to be exciting. We're fun, right?
I love stats, but I know that I'm also a nerd, and not everyone grew up watching baseball their whole life and just seeing OPS, and it makes sense to you. So, I get that some people...
Outside of you guys, a few people I know who watch baseball don't pay attention to stats at all. They just like to go to the games and get drunk.
Well, that's the beauty of basebay. You can do that if you want.
Yeah, and I don't know. They watch it at home sometimes, but I catch them falling asleep in the chair mostly.
Well, hey, nothing wrong with...
That's
a good way to fall asleep.
I'm not judging it.
Watch a baseball game.
I think my view of what this world could be might be skewed.
Well... Yeah. I can tell you this: if you watch a whole game and you fall asleep, they put on Baseball Zen on the MLB, and it is very, very relaxing.
Yes.
Oh.
Very relaxing.
I might have to check this out.
You should check that out.
To get back to, since we never really gave it, OPS.
Okay. Right.
You put those two numbers together. That's all it is just adding them together. There's no other math than that. So when you put that together, remember, 400 is average slugging. So a league average is 700 to 750 OPS. That's a guy having a solid season. Below that, you're thinking, okay, this guy could produce a little more. And once you start getting 800, 900, that's all-star, close to all-star level guy. And then 900 is elite. That's like the best players in the game have 900 plus. So if you see a guy with 1041 or 1100, that guy is insane. That guy's going nuts. So obviously the higher the better, but that's just an idea of where you want to be. So if you see, here I'll give an example. Aaron Judge here.
Okay.
He has a 1022 OPS because he slugs a lot, he walks a lot. But you look at someone maybe like Otto Lopez, who's a very good hitter, but he's not he doesn't walk a lot. He doesn't hit a lot of home runs. He's got an 867. Still pretty good. He's slugging 497. Still pretty good.
It's not 1022.
It's not 1022 just because he's not hitting the ball. And he's not walking a lot, and he's not hitting the ball
home runs.
Exactly.
I get it. That makes sense. That makes actually a lot of sense. Shouts out Otto Lopez.
He is
If you hear
very
this
good.
and you want to come on the show, reach out to us at abaseballpodcast@gmail.com. Definitely have the Marlins management reach
He's
out.
doing really well.
I love him. He and Xavier Edwards got me, 11 on my streaks?
Yeah, they did.
That was phenomenal.
Jacob came in and he's like, I'm going to pick the same guys on Beat the Streak every single day.
And it worked out.
And it worked.
Until it didn't.
Until
the Marlins had a travel day and I had to go with someone else and I got let down. It is what it is, guys. Every day is a new day.
Do we want to play one of our hit games?
Sure.
Which one do we want to play first?
We've got an Are the Numbers Close, which could work with our stats that we just talked about. We
wanna
also
do that?
have a
Pickle.
pickle if we would like to do a pickle, right, PJ?
Yep.
Well, I just flipped a imaginary coin in my head, heads and tails,
Okay.
and it landed on heads.
What does that mean?
That means we're gonna play the pickle.
All right.
All right.
If you guessed Bob Feller for the pickle, you are correct.
The pickle only is players who currently play,
Yes,
folks.
it would be impossible.
So I thought about this on the way over to the studio today. I'm going to pick a catcher because PJ likes catchers. I learned earlier this week that PJ played catcher in Little League, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm picking Adley Rutschman, the Baltimore Orioles catcher.
He's been having a
He's
good.
yes.
He's been having a good season so far, right?
Yeah,
You guys said?
absolutely. He can't honestly. He's been good, but he's been last year wasn't the greatest of years, but he's turned it around. The Baltimore Orioles need him. Some teams can go with a position struggling, like some position on the field struggling, and everyone else hitting. They need him to hit. Some of their guys are not hitting.
Yeah.
Like my MVP pick beginning of the season was Gunnar Henderson. That guy is struggling right now. So maybe he'll turn it around. But it's just some teams need the catcher to hit. I would think every team should. But
I mean, isn't the catcher kind of notoriously supposed to be the guy sending the ball out of the stadium, kind of?
I think the catchers are there. A lot of teams
Most of the
treat them as
catchers I've
defense.
seen, they're slugging that ball.
Well, that's because the Marlins have Liam Hicks, and he's a beast.
you've been watching a lot of Liam
and
Hicks.
Shea Langoliers.
Shea Langoliers, yeah.
You're saying the exceptions to
Yeah,
the
most.
rule.
I feel like
Exceptions.
most catchers.
I'm saying the
most of the
exceptions that
time,
make the rule
Yeah.
here. Oh, okay.
most the time, I feel like catcher's a very weak hitting position. You care. So
Huh.
defense is the priority.
I guess I'm also just thinking back to my own Little League experience where the catcher was a tank
Yeah.
who was obviously
Hey,
launching the
but
ball.
if you can have a good hitting catcher,
or the catcher was PJ, I guess.
I wasn't launching the ball.
No.
I love when there's good hitting catchers.
I was a fast catcher, which is also not something you see often. So that's why the guys like JT Realmuto
Yeah.
and Drake Baldwin and Liam Hicks and Shea Langoliers are
Yeah.
so good because they're good defensively and they can hit. And not just hit, but actually provide above value.
One of you showed
Absolutely.
me a video recently, I can't remember which one, of a little kid who wanted to play catcher so bad. And
yeah, that was me. I showed you that.
the pitch came, the ball was coming toward him and just
Smacks
hit him
him right in the face.
right in the catching helmet.
Yeah.
And he almost falls over.
Yeah, helmet pops off his head.
They were playing a Whitney Houston song with him. Pretty
I don't.
funny.
Yeah, I don't remember what the Whitney Houston song was.
I don't either.
But yeah, that's a real experience. I mean, that happens, I think, to every Little League catcher at some point.
Yeah,
you get hit in the face, right?
Probably,
I got hit in
yeah.
the face multiple times.
Yeah,
playing,
you
just
miss a
practicing
ball
catching.
and it hits off the
I
top
didn't
of your
even play on the
glove.
team. Didn't even play on the team. I would get hit in the face.
What did Adley
I didn't
get
get
us?
catching.
All right. Adley Rutschman, team is incorrect. Division is incorrect. So that means it's not in the AL or the NL East because he's in the AL East. Switch
Okay.
hitting is partially correct.
Partially correct.
Throws right is wrong. USA is correct. 28 is orange, so that means within 2 years of 28. And catcher is wrong.
That helped us a little bit, Jacob.
That means it's what, AL
know-
West or Central?
NL.
NL West or
NL
Central,
West or
sorry.
NL Central. We eliminated most of the divisions there. Switch hitting being orange.
It could mean he's a righty or a lefty.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, switch hitting being
That's
orange.
what the MLB app does.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Don't guess switch hitters much.
Yeah, I try not to.
30, 29, 27, or 26 years old.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not a catcher.
Nope.
You have a guess?
I'm looking right now. And you said, what's he throw?
Adley throws right, and that's wrong.
And that's wrong.
So he throws left.
So he bats and throws left. Probably.
Charles, we might have to add a new category to
What
this.
is the new category we're going to add?
We got to add what foot they kick with.
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about an article before the show started.
If you go to Paul O'Neill's baseball reference, it says he bats left, throws left, and kicks left. He's the only player I've ever seen, and it links you to a video of him kicking the ball
What?
in the game, which I don't know. I didn't know.
I've never seen this.
I guess it's like when the
Is
pitcher
that
sticks
legal?
his. I guess it's like when the pitcher sticks his foot out and bounces off. You're allowed to do it, I guess, but
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's ever actually like tried to kick.
he did
But
apparently.
he did, and it was such an important thing that they had to put it
They
in.
put it in there.
But that's such a baseball reference
Yo.
thing. Such a baseball thing. This guy
That's
kicked
so
the ball one time at his kicking leg.
Oh,
That's
funny.
amazing. I'm gonna guess D.L. Hall.
Who does DL Hall play for?
He plays for the Brewers.
The Brewers.
He used to be an Oriole.
Oh, he used to be an
I
Oriole.
thought that was a little fun tie-in.
Little tie-in.
To our,
Little
to our
tie-in.
last guest, a little
What
fun
position does
tie-in
he
there.
play so I can know?
He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher.
Yeah, it looks like he is mostly a relief pitcher.
Okay, okay.
He started one game, if that means
There's-
anything.
There's
I don't
so
think it
many
does.
relief. He probably was an opener because we talked. He probably was just a.
He was just an arm to use.
He came in at the beginning.
Makes
A lot
sense.
of teams do
Makes
that sort of
sense.
stuff. But there's so many relievers out there, and they get sent to the minors and brought back up a lot, you know. But then you got the ones who just stay there, you know, are really good. But there's always going to be that group that just gets, you know, up and down.
The Paddocks.
The Chris Paddocks of the world.
Well, I guess he's just DFA, but
You know, Chris Paddock. I don't know if he's been signed by anyone,
I hope not.
but if he wants to come on the show and hang out with us, that's fine.
Chris Paddock is on the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay, so he doesn't have
Okay.
time for us anymore.
No,
No.
he doesn't have time for
That's
us.
okay.
He's got to burn his arm up in Cincinnati.
The sheriff, by the way. Well, just sheriff, not the sheriff. That
Sheriff.
could be two different people. Okay.
I'm going to hold my tongue there. Don't come on the show,
What did he
Chris.
get us?
DL Hall, Milwaukee is incorrect. NL Central is orange. Bats left and throws left is correct. USA is correct. Age 27, let me just double check, is incorrect. And relief pitcher is correct.
It's a relief pitcher. Okay,
So lefty.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
lefty. You remember when they would bring in a lefty just to get one guy out?
Yeah, the good old days.
Can't really do that anymore.
No.
Not like, it's
You have
against the rules.
to. You have to be able to get both sides out now,
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's just like three lefties in a row.
I always I like those kind. I feel like losing that rule or making that rule made a lot of people lose their jobs.
Yeah,
pitching wise.
There was lefty specialists, and they'd
Yeah.
come in you'd see three pitchers in an inning. Lefty come in, get one out after he comes, replaces the first guy, and then they'd bring in a righty to get the last two outs or whatever.
And any time a team got a submarine pitcher, they kind of threw submarines they would say stuff like, "This guy can get lefties and righties out."
Yes, Darren
Every
O'Day.
single time they'd say that. And he'll pitch every day because he can get everybody out.
Yes,
You know what?
it's one of those baseball cliches.
Yeah.
Like this guy can lefties and righties, doesn't matter to him.
I love that sort of stuff. I think that it matters more in baseball than other sports if you're lefty or righty. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe basketball matters.
Well,
I don't know.
Just because he said that, I have an uncle. He played basketball and he's a lefty, and he would always tell me, "You automatically have an advantage because people don't expect you to be left-handed." So,
I never really think about it with basketball, but I can see, I can sort of see
because
that.
everyone tries to force you left
Yeah,
playing defense. So then, if you're left-handed, you can okay,
the angles are different.
yeah.
The angles are different. You have another
Speaking
guess?
of submariners, Darren O'Day was on the front of Baseball
Darren
Reference.
O'Day, yeah.
You know what his nickname is?
What is his nickname?
Odachowski. I don't even know.
Is that real?
Odachowski.
Darren O'Day.
Odachowski.
He has such a simple name, but it's such a complicated nickname.
He does the Braves radio broadcast sometimes.
Yeah. Shout out to Darren O'Day. He has apostrophe in his name. You don't see a lot of apostrophes in names.
Usually it's following an O though.
Yeah.
Charles, can you think of any 26-year-old left-handed relief pitchers?
I'm trying to scour some rosters. So we have knocked off what teams so far? We've knocked
The
off
Brewers and the Orioles.
So we have a
And
lot.
we found out that both of those divisions are orange, which
no,
pushes us.
no.
Oh.
The AL East is wrong.
Yeah, AL East is wrong.
no
right?
AL East.
NL Central is
NL Central was orange.
Yes.
So NL,
Yeah.
it's going to be NL West.
Yes.
Right.
Lefty
Right.
pitcher, NL West.
Yep.
I need to scour some rosters, but I think we should be able to get there from there. Honestly,
I mean, I'm looking, man. These people are ridiculous.
there's a lot of relief
know,
pitchers. When it's a relief
man.
pitcher, there's a lot to choose from. A lot.
Is this a Jacob style pick, man?
No.
No. So this isn't a Brandon Garcia.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume that it's not then.
I wouldn't pick. For the podcast pickle, I try to pick people that people have heard of.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully.
that's fair, but sometimes you got to shine a light on these, little gems.
Well,
We have
I can
other
shine a
segments for
light on
that.
it. Yeah, but I don't. It's not a
Shouts out Brandon Garcia with a Y. That's a weird way to spell it, right?
what.
I'm not
Brandon?
guessing him, but
I'm just looking him up to see
Yeah.
who he is.
Brandon with a Y.
Congrats, Brandon. I've never seen anybody with a Y, Brandon. Went
That's
to
awesome.
Quinnipiac. Shout out Quinnipiac.
Oh, wow.
What is that?
It's a university.
University. Yeah.
Charles, you acted kind of impressed with that
I
information.
did. I was actually
I don't think there's
impressed with
many. There's been 3 people. You can't forget Turk Wendell.
that. Oh, I remember Turk Wendell.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Batten.
Yeah. I don't remember him.
Yeah, he played for 3 years, 22 to 24.
He was batting.
He was
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 he-
batting. Yeah, he
Oh,
was
okay.
batting. He was hitting.
Hell yeah, that's some nominative.
It's like you
determinism.
gotta play baseball. If your name's
Nominative
batting
determinism.
or cricket.
You
At
know,
that point, you have to.
Yeah,
You have to.
Or it's like Jeremy Walker. He used to pitch for the Braves. I feel like he should have probably went into like walking and not pitching because that's not a good name to have as a
Oh,
pitcher.
no. Absolutely
No.
not.
Bad
It'd be
name.
like
Bad
Johnny Run Giver Upper. You wouldn't want to have that guy pitch for you.
name. No.
Guys, we've just gotten started getting used to the ABS system.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this. In the minors, they are testing something else out.
What?
Do you know what it is, PJ?
No.
The check swing challenge.
They should. They need that because I saw Drake Baldwin get screwed by that. And honestly, sometimes I don't think they even know what they're just calling something.
Yeah. It's kind of a split-second decision with that check
And
swing.
it's such like a there is like a rule on it, but I feel like it's very not like concrete, you know?
A check swing, Jacob, do you know what we mean by check swing? It's kind of like when you're swinging the bat, but you try to stop your swing because you don't think it's going to be a strike.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
And they say if you break the plane where your bat goes beyond what do you even
It looks like to me
Like-
it's about like a certain angle, right?
It-
Like
yeah.
you can get to about here, but
But-
at a certain point you have to either commit to a bunt or swing, right?
Yeah. Because they say break the plane, but that doesn't
And
really
for those that I know, I just said about here on a what is essentially a radio show, but it's a little more than what would that be?
let's
Yeah.
Google
Well,
it.
I can tell you this.
Like
I
a
got a little,
70.
This is being tested in
guess technically-
AAA, Pacific Coast League, and they're using a 45-degree angle.
That's
to
what
throw
I
the
wanted to
plate.
say. It was a 45-degree angle, but I didn't know if they were going in or out.
But the name of the technology is really cool.
The swing checker.
Hawkeye
Oh,
technology.
Hawkeye.
I love that name.
Very cool.
I don't think it's a terrible idea.
You know, you mentioned that. We went to a minor league baseball game this week, and I don't know if I just been out of the loop, but I kind of thought they would have ABS,
Yeah, right?
and they didn't.
They don't have ABS in
I thought that
AA?
all the stuff that they had been testing and bringing up to the big leagues, I guess maybe not every park has the
The technology.
Technology.
You know, I never thought of that. Well, if we ever talk to anyone that in the minors, we'll ask about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm really curious.
because Jorge Alfaro is catching. Who?
Yeah.
That's a person. It's a guy
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, oh, Jorge's gonna challenge that. And
Yeah.
he did, and I was like, oh,
I'm at a loss right now, but can I just say Justin Robleski?
Oh, that's probably right.
he's a starter.
Oh, he's a starter.
Yes.
Dang.
That's a very good guess.
I'm
I'm a nice
struggling
guy.
over here, man.
I'll give you. This is the most I've ever. I never see Jacob struggle.
Yeah, is Jacobs in the struggle
Well,
bus
we're looking
today?
for what I'm assuming is a 26-year-old left-handed relief pitcher.
Okay, I'll help you out here. 28 was orange and 27 was not.
Oh, I didn't hear you say 27 was not.
Okay.
This guy pulling a Charles.
So
Sorry,
now
dude.
that,
I start looking before I hear everything.
well, as we talked about with all the stats and stuff, numbers can get kind of fuzzy in this stuff. So stuff like ages, it can all blend together really easily.
Let me try Sam Hinchis then.
Sam Hinchis.
Who does he play for?
The Giants.
Giants.
Did not know that. MLB The Show legend, by the way.
Yeah, MLB The Show legend.
Yeah.
I know nothing about him other than I just learned how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe Hintes or
So you looked at the pronunciation to figure out his name.
Well, they got one down
They
here
got
on
one down
Baseball
there.
Reference.
Yeah.
They got everything on Baseball Reference.
It's true.
Man, forever, Ozzy Albies, Ozzy Albies, they'd hear both in the broadcast Like, they don't use baseball reference to figure out how to say names?
No,
Come on.
no, they don't use
No.
that. They
The professional broadcasters just refuse to get people's names right, and it actually drives me nuts. Like in basketball, Doris Burke and people who are like the national people, they say Shea Gilgis Alexander. They say it together when there's the hyphen is on Gilgis and Alexander,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't know how to read.
Yeah. You would think they would know how to say the players' names.
I don't know. We
There are a
know
lot
how
of
we know how
players.
tough it is for some of these people that have to talk
That's true.
for their jobs every day.
But you think when there's you're gonna be saying the person's name over and over, again,
Right.
You think you'd.
I would just ask the person.
That's what sometimes
Well,
happens.
that's
They
how
ask-
that's where they get these pronunciations from. Is they asked them. So
Yeah.
just go on Baseball Reference.
Yeah.
Dude,
Because each year at Media Day, they go, what's your name? Sam Henches. Sam Henches.
yeah.
So that way they can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, speaking of Sam, the Giants is wrong.
Okay.
The NL West is correct. Left is correct. USA is correct. Age 29 is still orange. And relief pitcher is correct.
Not a giant.
Not a giant.
Well, he's 6'8", so he's a pretty tall guy.
He is a tall guy. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of the cool things about these pitchers.
We'd
is
be looking
they're
up
just
at that guy just
massive.
standing here. 6'8"?
They're massive people sometimes.
6'8", 255. Get that guy at power forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, hop in the NBA, man.
Or go play defensive end.
That's the thing with it's like this in a lot of sports, but in baseball, you can be really short or really tall.
Or you could be CC Sabathia, be
Yeah.
a heavier guy, or you could be a little skinny guy.
Right.
Like
It's all
Billy
different.
Hamilton.
All different sizes, all different shapes of people.
That's the beauty about baseball.
Yeah.
You can see
absolutely.
Aaron Judge or Sam Hinches, and they're behemoths, and then there's Ozzy Albies, and it's like, that's a small guy.
I saw a video, guys. Fernando Tatis Jr. And in this video, this guy, he's a kind of like a online guy, like a social media kind of
Yeah.
guy. He's asking him a question like, so what stat do you follow? What stat do you like to look at of yours? Fernando Tatis Jr., bless his heart. He said it was his home runs. He hasn't hit a single home run this season at all.
I mean, I can't blame him, though.
I mean,
He's not got much to look at.
Yeah.
But dude gave up something recently. He gave up what people call a Little League Grand Slam. You know what that is? I'm going to tell you what that is. It's when the bases are loaded, hitter hits the ball, and the fielder misses it. So it rolls all the way to the wall or somewhere out in the field, and everyone runs all the way around the bases, and that guy hit a grand slam without hitting it over the wall.
That's impressive.
And the
Wow.
hitter didn't, look, did Tatis touch the ball? Did they give him an error for that? I don't
Probably
even know.
not.
If he didn't touch the ball, if you dive and don't touch the ball,
That shouldn't be
they
an error.
won't give you an
It
error.
shouldn't be an error.
If it bounces off your glove, they'll give you an error for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he hasn't hit a home run, but he's given up a grand slam.
Well, here's a funny thing. Nick Castellanos used his bat the other day after he broke his, and he hit a home run with Fernando's bat before Fernando did.
No way.
Yes.
That's
I feel like
funny.
he got to go in and like be like, I'm keeping
I'm
this one.
keeping
You're
this
not
bat,
using
man."
this for anything, so
Yeah. I use this a little bit.
yeah.
I'm thinking Tatis is in his head a little bit.
Charles, you might remember this.
It's an easy thing to
you
do.
remember Niger Morgan?
Yes.
Do you remember the clip where he goes to rob a homer and he misses it at the wall and he just throws his glove and like
I
gets
remember that.
mad and then so like the left fielder has to run over. I think that guy had an inside the park home run. But that's
Yeah.
what I think of whenever I think of like inside the little league home
You just
runs.
kind of think of this stuff happening in lower levels of the game. When you see it in the big leagues, it's like, what just happened around here? There's always something different in every game, and that's what kind of makes it fun.
Absolutely.
I have a correction to make to I think it was last episode.
Oh,
I said Tim Hudson won the Cy Young and they didn't mention it in Moneyball. It was actually Barry Zito.
Barry
so
Zito.
yeah, sorry guys.
Dude.
so
I
That's
know.
a massive
It's-
biff.
Tim Hudson finished fourth the next year, so
Dude.
Tim Hudson was on the team, but
Dude.
yeah, it's pretty unacceptable.
What the
They had some
heck?
good pitchers in
Yeah.
that era of time. The
Alex
Athletics.
Vesia.
Alex Vesia?
Alex Vesia. is correct.
Oh,
There you go, Jacob. There you go.
I was stressing a little bit there, dude.
Tell people who he plays for so people can know out there.
Plays
He
for the
plays for the
Dodgers.
Dodgers. Yeah.
I kind of thought I would throw you guys for a loop by picking a Dodger. So
I thought
It
maybe
was the
you were
last
doing
team
that.
I checked.
It's the last team a lot of people check unless you're a Dodgers fan. I'm just
Yeah.
joking out there. If you like the Dodgers, they're doing all right. They hadn't hit their stride yet, honestly, offensively. But, they'll get there. The Padres are in first. It's kind of weird seeing the Dodgers like in the wild card standings
Right.
now. But that's what's happening because they're not in first in that division.
and the Padres are in first. I don't know how.
Somehow, even with Tatis not hitting any homers yet this season. And Manny Machado.
Sometimes that's the way the show goes, Charles.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I did want to, while we're talking about being in first place, give a little shout out. We know a Rays fan. The Rays are killing it right now. And I don't think anybody thought they'd be good, and they're playing pretty good baseball right now.
I never think they'll be good.
Well, fair, but they're pretty good, and they always have a ragtag group of guys, kind of like the Brewers, where it's like, who is that guy? And he just balls out.
Yeah.
So
Who's that guy? Yeah. Who is that guy?
it's Nick Martinez.
Dang.
It's when it comes to the American League East. This is a bias by me, but I don't care. Anyone but the Yankees and Red Sox, I'm okay with.
Yeah,
Anyone.
yeah.
Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays, any of them. It's just because of the bias of the Northeast. Some of those teams have good fans too. A lot of it comes down to their fan reaction to stuff, which makes me not like them, or if they won a lot.
Yeah.
Also, they only wanted the media only wants to see
yes,
the Yankees and Red Sox.
they want to see them a lot,
Yes,
It does seem to be the way
which
it goes.
makes other people have to see them a lot,
yes,
which makes us not like them as much.
right.
It's pretty fair, right?
I mean, I guess so. I don't judge anyone for not liking the Yankees or
Yeah.
the Red Sox. I don't care about them that much.
Guys, in a few weeks, the
Yeah.
All-Star balloting is going to open up.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, we're going to talk about that because they're gonna make it where we can see who's leading in the balloting.
So for those who don't know, how does that work?
It's all online.
It's a fan vote to vote for starters, and then the coaches pick the rest
Yeah,
of I think it's the coaches pick the rest of the team, and every team gets an all-star.
Sure.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and sometimes the players maybe pick somebody too. And that may
I'm
be
not
a newer
100%
thing, newer
sure. We
development.
might have to.
But
Would
the big
you-
thing to me is the starters.
Yeah.
Fans need to vote for who deserves it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's some times where it's like 2016 was all Cubs players. 2013 was all Royals players. A couple of years ago, there was 6 Braves.
Yeah. And sometimes those players deserve it because they're the best at that position. And sometimes they're voting someone who's batting like 200 with 2 home runs just because they know the name.
Buddy.
Or it's like, I'm a Royals fan, I'm a whatever fan, I'm gonna vote for the whole starting lineup.
The thing that's kind
So
of annoying
what, you
to
want
me,
people to just ignore their bias?
I won't ignore mine, but everyone else should.
Okay.
yeah,
That's fair.
you can't vote for pitchers, Jacob.
Yeah.
You can't vote for pitchers.
No, it's
so we can't
only-
pick the all-star pitcher. They pick him?
No, the
Yeah.
managers, the team, the coaches, the players, they all pick pitching.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. We should be able to vote for pitching.
Because we'd put Martin Perez in there.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to watch Martin Perez be an all-star. That's probably a good thing they don't let us pick pitchers, because the bullpen would be full of like who is even that guy?
Yeah.
Which is funny. That would be funny, but all-stars help guys make money and determine people's careers, so
Right.
it's probably a good thing.
But like this year, Fernando Tatis Jr. should not be an all-star. But I
people
can
will probably
see a
vote for him
world where
because
people
they
will
say
vote for him.
because they vote for their favorite players and they go, well, I don't know who to vote for in right field, so I'll vote for him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking our audience out there, let's just do things the right way. When that balloting opens, let's vote for who deserves it. Look at the stats. We talked about stats in the show. Look at the stats. If you don't understand, ask us. We can help you out.
Yeah.
We don't mind.
Absolutely. Right into a baseballpodcast@gmail.com.
The Reds just signed Chris Paddock 2 days ago, so he hasn't got a chance to pitch yet, by
Chris
the way. It's
Paddock,
just-
if you don't want to pitch for them, we have a seat right over here on our table in our studio.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Jacob just threw the extra seat out the window.
We don't have that seat. It's not here.
We're only joking, Chris.
If you have a problem, please write into a baseballpodcast@gmail.com. We won't read that one.
We will reach one. Man, guys. You know what I looked up the other day? The top 10 hitter-friendly parks in baseball. And I was thinking about this because this is our 10th episode.
Yeah.
Top 10s. That makes sense, right?
Sure.
And this dates back to last season. So last season into what we have of this season. And when they do this, they're adding stuff together, obviously. When they say hitter-friendly, it just means guys are getting hits. Guys are getting doubles, triples, homers, whatever it might be.
Does this also? I figure like this also means it's a smaller park too.
I
though,
think
right?
hitter friendly could be smaller, air like how elevation. I think it's more of like more home runs are hit there. I think is what.
Wait till you hear the list, though. It's kind
Okay.
of crazy. Now,
I know what number one
does
is.
does it tell how big the stadiums are? Because I am curious about this.
it did. We'll have to post below because I didn't write that down in my notes.
Dang it!
But you can look it up. Really
Okay.
easy to find. Number one's pretty easy.
Coors Field.
Coors Field. It always is.
Where the
Usually
Rockies
is.
play.
Number two, I don't know, Cincinnati Reds, Great
Yeah,
American Ballpark.
They call it Great American Small Park because it's a small, tiny ballpark.
And so people get homers easy.
Yep.
And then we got Citizens Bank Park, where Philadelphia plays.
yeah.
Some of these are usual suspects. Fenway Park.
Yeah, they have short dimensions because the Monster is tall, but it's not that
It's
far out.
not that far
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Dodger Stadium.
Really?
Dodger Stadium.
Because Dodger, that's weird because Dodger Stadium, hitter friendly also something is small foul
Yeah.
territory, so that's less area for you to pop out. And Dodger Stadium has huge foul territory.
Yeah, and I think it's just become more hitter friendly lately. I
Or
don't
just
know
because
what's
the
happened.
Dodgers just hit so many home runs, so it maybe skews the numbers because those guys will hit home runs everywhere.
Lone
Yeah.
Depot Park, Marlins.
Yeah. Okay.
They're in there. American Family Field.
Which is the Brewers.
That's where the Brewers play. Oracle Park, Camden Yards, Baltimore. Chase Field and Target Field. Chase Field's where the Diamondbacks play. Target Field's where the Twins play.
Yeah.
Some of those are surprising. Some of those aren't. It's just kind of cool to see, you know.
Also, something to consider is the Twins were really bad last year.
Yes.
Not just them, but that could factor into it. It's like, you just give up meatballs, your park's gonna look pretty nice to play in because the pitchers
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
So
You'll be sometimes watch games and hear the announcers say something like, "This ballpark plays fair," meaning what they mean is good for the pitchers and good for the hitters. Or some people will say this is a pitcher's park, which
Yeah.
I didn't look up that. So
this is a hitter's park.
sometimes
okay.
it goes back and forth.
Something else to think about that, but you can't really count it for the whole season because March through May in Atlanta, probably a little more of it or fair park, and then when you get to June, July, August, it becomes a hitter's park because the ball just flies out of there because it's so hot.
Yeah.
So
Then they start using that term that I don't like.
hot Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta.
Nobody says that anymore. The only people that say that are the media people, and I think everybody from Atlanta is like, stop saying that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
No.
I don't have a reason for not liking
It
it.
sounds dumb.
It is hot there.
It
in
is.
the summer.
I once heard a guy, instead of the tomahawk chop, he said heat, sweat, humidity.
That's pretty good. That's,
That's
pretty good. Now, we played the pickle.
Oh, should we do some numbers that are close?
Is that the game we're playing today?
Numbers are close.
Yeah.
We just made a
Are the
jingle
numbers
accidentally.
close?
The numbers are close.
There you go. Property of a baseball podcast.
So, as you guys know, I've started picking careers, and I've been picking them off the Hall of Fame because there's so many careers to pick from. So we're going with career stats, right?
Okay.
Jacob, I just wanted to. You got into a rabbit hole today while you were doing this, didn't you?
Yeah. So, I don't understand the voting and stuff that goes on with the Hall of Fame. The Negro League, for some reason, they don't vote on it.
I don't know. I could have been telling you the wrong
They put them all
information.
in there. Well, there's no votes. It's not necessarily that
I think maybe it's for example, the three of us sit in a room and we're like, I think he should be, and Charles says, I think he should be. So maybe there is a vote, but it's not actual writers
But
voting
these
on
other
it.
committees have votes with numbers. I'm seeing numbers right here with percentages and the number
Yeah.
of votes. But then the Veterans game, today's game
the
era, the pre-integration era,
all those
expansion
ones-
era, the Negro League, the Veterans, all this stuff.
All those ones that have
It's hit or miss.
have a thing to it.
Yeah.
All of those ones, I could be wrong, but those are all older things where the Hall of Fame wasn't established. So there's like a committee that's in charge of that. But all of the guys who like get
The Hall of
voted
Fame
on.
was established in 1936.
Well,
This
I
is
don't
the earliest one. Do you guys want to know a fun fact about
Okay.
this real quick? Do you want to know what the first special election, who got the first special election, like, induction into the Hall of Fame? Who that was? Do you guys know?
Is it someone we would know?
It was someone you would
Jackie
definitely know.
Robinson.
No,
Oh, he probably was just in the regular Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
you don't know. It's Lou Gehrig.
Oh, it's Luke Gehrig.
Oh,
Yeah, which makes
See,
sense, right?
Because I feel like then it was probably like a different. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like now where it's like the Hall of Fame is everyone can be in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It-
mean, for sure, right? Because I mean that's what pre-integration, but
Here's the we don't want
It-
the writers that currently write
Yeah, they're
to
terrible.
vote for older leagues, older players from
I don't
way
want them to
back.
vote for
which
people right now because they're terrible.
I guess and I get it. That makes sense. That makes total sense. I just want to know how it all works. I
Yeah,
want to
that-
know what
that's a good
what the
question.
process is.
I thought I
wanna-
knew more than I did.
Yeah, I'm very curious about this because just saying that everyone votes is obviously not true because
Well,
not
they do
voting
now.
everyone.
Everyone like current the regular.
This guy got inducted in 2022, and it was early baseball era,
Well,
which makes sense. You
yeah.
know, he only played till 1913. I get that. We're not going to vote on him. We haven't ever seen him play. We
No one's
can't-
even heard of this
no,
guy.
No one's heard of him.
I'm saying
But-
everyone that like is this guy retired 5 years ago. Everyone like that they get voted on now.
Yeah.
But like all the older players, they have committees and stuff for that.
Special
Yeah.
committees.
The first vote was Honus Wagner in 1936.
So,
See, and he didn't even play close to then. So
No.
Jacob,
he's
please
done.
tell me you didn't pick players that we've heard of these players, right?
I'm pretty sure you have.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
pretty
play
sure
Are
you
the
have.
Numbers Close?
Well, I saw one of these guys' names in a different thing, so I picked him. And the other one we've talked about before.
okay.
Is one a
so-
hitter and one a pitcher?
No, we're
Oh.
both batting today.
Okay.
We're hitting.
Alex Batten
No.
or whatever that guy's
Well,
name was.
yeah, whatever Batten's name was.
Matthew Batten. Sorry.
We're going Jeff Bagwell
Okay.
and Vlad Guerrero.
Okay. Two
Senior.
good ones.
Which stats are we going to try to do?
I've got batting average, home run, at bats, and OPS for both of them.
I say home runs and batting average sounds
yeah,
the
those
easiest.
are easy. Those are things we can give an educated
yeah.
guess towards.
Yeah. At bats, I have no
Yeah, I've
idea.
seen these guys their whole career. I mean, if I think about it, I watched those guys a lot. You know, the Braves played the Astros quite a bit in the
because
playoffs.
they were in the Central back then.
And then Vladimir Guerrero, I mean, he played when he went to Anaheim. It's a little harder to see him because West teams are hard for us in our time zone. But he played for the Montreal Expos, which is a team before the Nationals became a thing. So we can get some educated guess to this. Do you want to go first, PJ? I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Which player do you want to do?
We'll do Jeff Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell.
All right.
What were they? Was it the Triple Bs? Is that what they?
Yes.
Him, Bagwell, Biggio, and Berkman.
And then they had Derek Bell at one point.
But
And
he
they
didn't,
were-
he didn't get to get added to that, did he?
I think he was there. Yeah, he was. And then
Triple
he went
Bs.
away. And then they
They're
had
like,
the
yeah, we're not going to
Buzz.
change our name for you. Sorry, Derek Bell.
Bubba Buzz. So what do you guys think for home runs? We'll start with that. How many home runs do you think Mr. Bagwell hit?
I know he's not a 500 clubber. Now you're giving me a look, and now I'm.
Oh, I'm giving you a look because I'm trying not to breathe into the mic.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say 385.
That's a solid guess. Solid guess.
I feel like he's probably a 400 guy, but
Charles, what do you think?
I'm going to say he's a 400 guy. I'm going to say he hit 413 home runs. 413.
Okay, and batting average, PJ, for Mr. Bagwell.
I'm going to say 288. I'm going to stick in the 80s.
He's stuck in the 80s, all right. I think he's a little better than that.
Yeah?
I'm going to say he had a career batting average of 327.
All right.
Wow, he was a monster.
Well, he was. I mean, that guy was. There's an era of time where he hit everything.
I just always assumed that the guys had a few years at the beginning and a few years at the end where they weren't that great, and it always brings it down.
I mean, you could very well be right.
All right, would you like to find out if the numbers are close?
Yes.
Let's see.
For home runs for Mr. Bagwell, he had 449.
What did you say?
He said 413.
Oh my goodness.
I'll take that one as a victory.
And for batting average, he had 297. So PJ takes that one.
I told you.
I was just slightly over.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, slightly by about 30.
30.
Exactly. And we can move on to a Mr. Guerrero Sr.
Guerrero Senior. All right.
What do you
Charles,
guys
you go
think
first
about
this
Do the
time.
same stats
Yeah,
again?
Yeah.
All right.
home-
Home runs. I think he's in the 400 club. I think he's going to have 402 home runs. 402. Okay.
I'm pretty certain he's in
Yeah.
the 500 club,
Oh,
but I'm just going to say 450 to be safe.
it's probably safe. If you think he's in the 500
I'm
club,
pretty
I can't
sure he
remember.
is. I think so.
He didn't wear batting gloves. I know that. What
That,
about
your face scares
Oh,
me.
no.
Ignore my
Jacob.
face, dude.
I can't. Your
I'm-
face has just made me sad.
Ignore my face, please.
He's laughing.
batting average? Batting average? Guerrero Jr. swung a lot.
Jacob's laughing, so I feel like the answer is 449.
What if one of us got it right on the dot?
That'd be impressive. All right, batting average.
Batting
Charles?
average?
There's no amendments once the number's been written
No,
down, sadly.
yeah, I'm not changing. I'm just saying your face makes me feel like it was one before.
280 career batting average.
I'm gonna say. I'll say 301.
Okay.
Okay.
Swung that bat with no batting gloves.
I saw him hit a ball that bounced on a video one time, so I just assume he probably.
Oh,
hit,
I saw that video too. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I wish
You know,
his-
his son also has pretty good hitting crazy
Oh,
pitches
yeah.
skill.
I wish
Yeah.
that he would hit with no batting gloves a couple times.
Nah.
Just one time.
I wish he had hit a bit more consistently, so my streak would be good.
Yeah,
whenever
I pick
him.
Vladdy a lot too.
Every
and
time I pick him, he doesn't get a hit.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he did one time.
yeah. I've stopped going to him.
Okay, so home runs.
This is where you were laughing behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I picked guys that had the same number of home runs.
Oh, my goodness.
They're both at 449.
So you got that one.
no, I said
It's
450.
450.
Oh,
He said
yes.
450. That's why
I could
couldn't-
tell.
I tried
I
so
see,
hard.
and I
The
literally,
more I
as
was
soon as he
trying
laughed,
to hold it down, the harder it was getting.
I hate this game.
You want to retire this game,
Yeah,
don't you?
I hate this game.
I'll pick people that are specific to you next time, PJ. Don't worry.
He's gonna pick Tyler Pasternicki, and I'm gonna be like, I don't actually know any of his stats.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're always
No
bringing
doubt.
that guy
Yeah,
up.
he played like 2 seasons.
He has a cool
Uh,
name.
Yeah, and I was
a
hoping
funny
he was
name.
gonna be
I
good.
like his name.
He wasn't.
His batting average, Vlad Guerrero's batting.
Vlad Guerrero's Vlading average.
Yeah, Vlad Guerrero's batting average is 318, dude.
Let's go. I
So
got the
PJ
batting
takes
average.
that one.
There we go.
Good job.
I knew that.
Do you still want to retire this game?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because that puts you both at 2.
Well,
today.
if
So
you count
tied.
if you count previous games, I'm way behind, but
If you count previous games, you're only behind by about 4 or 5.
well,
I think 5.
that's
And it feels like a lot.
it is cuz
But
I
you can
always
come back
I
from
always
that.
go over.
You can come back from that.
Well,
You
maybe.
always go over by a little bit.
Yeah, well like
That
one,
means you're
'cause
getting close. You got to underestimate.
the numbers
just-
my numbers are always close.
Your numbers
They're
are
just
always
over.
close. They're always over. Though.
Yeah. That means I know, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, sometimes it's just difficult. You have to go over to, to.
Charles, we're going to do Old Haas Radborn next time, and I'm going to get his numbers exactly right.
Don't look
Okay.
just don't look at Jacob's notes so you know immediately what it is.
Yeah. I'll scream at you. I'll scream at anybody who's looking at my notes.
We got a lot of stuff in today's show.
Yes,
a lot of stats,
a lot of
fun.
numbers.
If there's anything out there you want to know, just remember you can get in contact with us, abaseballpodcast@gmail.com.
Or the same name on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, we try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yep.
You can comment on wherever you stream your podcast. We want to hear from you, so reach out.
And game suggestions, if you like the games, if you don't like the games, if you have game ideas, we'd love to hear that too.
Yeah. Let us know.
Who's our closer coming into the game?
Charles, I think you'll like this one. This
Okay.
guy is one of the first guys I remember being a personality in baseball. Brian the Beard Wilson.
Brian Wilson.
Yep. I
Good
bet you hadn't
choice.
thought about him in a minute.
I haven't. That guy had a massive beard, though, like a really dark beard. That's a good choice. How long did it take you to come up with that choice? I mean, that's a random one to me.
I think he was on the front of Baseball Reference today, so I
okay.
was like, oh, that's a good one.
All right, so my lefty of the day hits left. I know he throws right. Please don't email the inbox and let me know that. I'm going with the fact that he hits left. And we talked about him earlier in the show. He's hit 13 home runs this season, 29 RBIs. He's been a beast for the New York Yankees. Ben Rice.
Ben Arroz.
Nice.
Arroz.
Yeah. You know he speaks Spanish?
I knew that. I saw
Yeah.
that in this article.
I saw
amazing.
I saw one time he was talking and the guy, he said, first baseman always talk to people, and he says sometimes guys will come up and start speaking Spanish and they look at him like, what?
Yeah,
That's
it is
funny.
kind of interesting.
That's hilarious.
As someone that surprises people speaking Spanish, that's like the funniest thing. And they're like, what?
I love it too. I absolutely love. And I actually try to talk Spanish. It's kind of fun to throw out a few Spanish words here and there.
See.
Look at that. There we go.
Yeah, see.
All right. Now here's a guy going back in time,
Way back, okay?
back to the 70s.
All
We
right.
got
That's way back.
Mark the Bird Fidrich. His
No
first
way.
year, his rookie year, 24 complete games, 2.34 ERA, 9.6 WAR. Guy was a monster. Second in the Cy Young. Won the Rookie of the Year, and then I think he got hurt, and his career just fell off a cliff. The next year he was decent. The next year pitched a little bit, was decent, and then he just got hurt and fell off a cliff. And he is cremated. Just
He's cremated.
yep.
I'm glad to know
And
that.
he's
Wow.
called the Bird.
Yeah, that's
He was
good
kind
to
of
know.
goofy looking, and he also had a very weird pitching style, so they called him the Bird.
weird.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Huh. For my a player in time, I've got Mule Suttles. All right. Now, if you ain't heard about Mule Suttles, this guy apparently was going around wherever he wanted and smacking balls 500 plus feet. Unless he was playing, in certain other areas. But
Yeah.
this dude had a batting average at 339 for his career. OPS 1030. That's not bad.
That's really good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And he's got a great name.
He's
Mule.
got a great name, Mule Suttles. They called him that apparently because he was slugging the ball. He hit with a 50-ounce bat, just swinging the thing.
That's a
Yeah.
big dude.
That's a big dude right there.
Sometimes you just gotta swing and see what happens.
George was his name. George Mule Suttles.
George.
Mule Suttles.
You think he'd be good in today's game?
I think he would do something at least.
He was buried, by the way.
He was buried, yes. In case anyone was curious about that, he was buried. We won't tell you where.
We won't tell you where. I like that.
Charles, you got a quote for us?
Yeah, I got a quote for you. This is from Babe Ruth, which we've talked about before on the show. But this one says, "Every strike brings me closer to the next home run." Thanks for listening.